Let's just be very honest here. The person you want to become, that person who's thriving, who has a business that they're proud about, the person who can walk away from their business because they have employees, they have a good team behind them, that person who has a strong family dynamic, that person who can take rest whenever they want to, who's leaving a legacy for their children, that person can never thrive or even exist with your bad habits. Here's the truth. Your habits is the reason you feel stuck. Your habits is the reason you can't experience the life you want. Your habits is the reason you feel confined. You don't need no magical strategy. There's no magical blueprint. I'm about to break down 5 habits that are keeping you stuck, that are keeping you from the life you really want, that are also keeping you from experience and walking into your new identity. If you're new here, my name is Doshe Adonis. I cover everything when it comes to entrepreneurship, mindset, and business. I love doing this. This is what I talk about on this channel. I also do vlogs, so don't forget to subscribe if you want more content just like this. Let's get right into this video. First of all, it is too hot. I need to find somewhere with more shade to film this video. Don't beat me up in the comments. I don't normally drive without my seatbelt. We're driving at 1 mile per hour because I'm just trying to find somewhere with shade to film this video. All right, cool, y'all. We're finally in the shade. Let's get into this. First thing I want to focus on and mention in this video is just that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your patterns. You fall to your patterns. So I'm saying this to say, I'm pointing out these habits, not because I've perfected them or I even know anyone who's perfected them, but because the type of people I hang around, me, myself, we work on paying attention to these habits daily and work our way against them daily. So we make sure we have patterns in our life that helps us stay away from these bad habits. So I'm going to break down each habit to you and what you need to do to really unlock the next level of your life and get to the next level. Let's get into it. Habit number 1. Scrolling instead of building. For a lot of us, we are so caught up with consuming instead of creating. If you find yourself consistently consuming, whether you're watching TV, you're on Netflix, you know everything going on with this sports player, you know everything going on with the stats, you know everything that's happening with this Love Island, you know everything going on, you know the latest audio trends, whatever's going on, you know the latest clothing trends, but you don't know the trends going on in your business. We have a problem. I need you to prioritize creating. Is it wrong to consume? No. But if that is your primary focus and you are not living the life you want, you're doing it wrong. I want you to be more intentional with yourself. Every time you're paying attention to your behaviors, every time you're paying attention to yourself throughout the day, if you find yourself consuming too much, immediately stop and go find something to create. Immediately stop and pay attention to what you're consuming, because that's the other thing. I feel like for a lot of us, we think consuming is not necessarily wrong, but also what are you consuming on your time off? Are you reading a book? Are you watching a YouTube video that's teaching you or inspiring you? Are you on a coaching call with your mentor? What are you doing on your free time? If you're so caught up with consuming, you're going to you're going to grow this paralysis that's going to prevent you from creating. You're going to feel unprepared. You're going to feel so out of place when it's time to create. Versus if you lock in on creating so much, you will realize you don't even have time to consume as much as you think you do. I actually have to schedule my time out to consume. I have to be like, okay, tonight I'm going to, from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I'm just going to watch TV. I have to schedule it out now because that's how much I focus on creating more than consuming. The second habit is talking yourself out of greatness. For a lot of us, we come up with the most brilliant ideas, but before we could even act on the idea, we've already talked ourselves out of it. We've already given ourselves a million reasons why we don't qualify to do this. We don't qualify to talk about this. We don't meet the qualifications. We're not this person. We're not that person. And 20 minutes later, 40 minutes later, an hour later, we immediately have not done anything. We have not done anything. Nothing happens. We're on to the next idea. Stop that. What you need to be doing instead is the second you think of an idea, immediately act on it. Immediately make it happen. The difference between you and someone who's living your dream life is not because they're better than you. It's not because they're smarter than you. It's because they spend less time thinking and more time taking action. The second they come up with an idea, they immediately take action on it. That's what a lot of us need to be doing. That's what's keeping you away from your goals. It's not because you don't have the right idea. It's because you don't take action on the ideas you already have. You have not taken action on the idea you've been thinking about over 3 years ago. Think about it. Imagine had you took an action on the idea you had 6 months ago, where would your life be right now? Either one, you would have taken action on that idea and it would have changed your life for the better. Or two, you'd have took action on that idea and realized maybe this isn't for you, and you would have came up with a better idea. And that idea would have took off. But because we're consistently not taking action, here's the truth. Let me stop here real quick. The time between an idea and execution will determine your future. The longer you take between the idea and implementation changes everything. I can't stress it enough. Let's get to habit number 3. This third habit is something I struggled with for a long time, and I'm working so hard to break out of it every day. But this is a habit of living on reaction mode. What that means is, for a lot of us, we already know what we need to be doing, but because there's no need for it, we're lazy about getting it done. It's not until life forces us into it that's when we're like, whoa, I need to do this. I don't want you to live a life like that, because if you had done it 6 months ago, if you had done it 3 years ago, imagine where your life would be now. Me deciding to quit for photography and go all in on building my personal brand and growing my online coaching business, it was not a reactive move. It was a proactive move. It's something I knew I wanted to do, and I was not going to wait until I fall out of love with photography and I start mistreating my clients, getting bad reviews. No. Even though my business was thriving, even though my photography business was thriving, I still have clients trying to book me until today. And I have to decline at least 80-90% of them because they don't have the budget for me now, right? But I'm being more proactive in saying, no, I have to give it up. Yes, it's a lot harder. Yes, it's a lot more challenging in the moment, but in the long run, you will be surprised how much better your life will be had you decided, I'm going to be proactive. I know this is going to be an issue in 3 years. I know in 4 years, I may not like this at all. Let me do something about it now. Habit number 4, surrounding yourself around people who settle. I'm going to give you a few examples of you being around people who settle. Here's one. When you talk to them about your big dream and idea and they get stressed, they're not even the ones acting on the idea. You're not even asking them for help. You're just telling them about the idea and what you're trying to do. And immediately they're like, woof, that's a lot of work. Is it because it's a lot of work, or is it because they've always settled? So the idea of doing more work than they need to is something that they just can't even imagine. So seeing you go through it, they're like, ugh. What's really going on in this conversation? Here's number 2. You make a requirement for something you want in the relationship, the friendship, and they make it seem like you're asking for too much. They make it seem like you're doing too much. Here's the truth. In their eyes, you are doing too much. Is it because you are doing too much or you're requesting too much? No, it's because they settle so much in their life. They choose the bare minimum in their life. So here you go trying to ask for more. You're doing too much. And I actually agree with them. You are doing too much in their eyes. So your problem isn't that you're actually doing too much. Your problem is you're having the conversation with the wrong people. You're in conversations, you're in relations with the wrong people. This 5th habit is literally what's going to change everything for you if you start implementing it. We work as if we are the person we are today. What I mean by this is you need to work as if you are the person you want to be in 5 years from now. Here's what I mean by that. Working like I am the person I am today, I would only probably post once a week, because the person I am today is not getting thousands of likes in every video. It's not getting millions of views. So what's the point of posting every day? I'm not getting millions of views, when in reality, let's flip this. Let's change this a little bit. I want you to think of who you are going to be in 5 years. 5 years from now, I'm going to have the biggest platform in the world. I'm going to literally be one of the world-renowned speakers. I'm going to be on the biggest stages. I'm going to have the biggest content team around me, so I can post 4 or 5 times a day. I can post 6, 7 times a week. Okay, if that's going to be me in 5 years, I need to start doing that now. Do you see the difference? Why? Because you don't want to wait till you get there to have to form these habits. You want to start forming these habits now, because here's the truth. People do not respect you for doing the bare minimum. People do not respect you for living at your level. People respect you when you present yourself as a higher being, as your higher self. When you present yourself as your higher self, people respect that, because guess what people see in that? People don't see a perfect person. They see a person with level of confidence that they can trust in. And that's what builds real connection and real relationships, so you can scale your company beyond your wildest dreams. Now, with these new habits in mind, you're going to have to build a lot of discipline. You're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to also be mindful of who's around you. One, I don't recommend isolating yourself. Please get in a community, because it's going to get difficult. It's going to get challenging. You're going to feel so alone. Get around the right community, even if you have to pay to get in the community. Get around the right people. And the next thing I'd recommend is lock in. When you find the right community, build those relationships and lock in. You can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. You can predict your future, not because you are a wizard, but because you can create it. I truly believe in you. If you need help, there's resources in the description below. I have a free 30-day email course. You can also DM me on Instagram, ready if you want to work one-on-one. And I can't wait to see your growth and where you go in this next season. Let's get it.